Oh, happy
Happy
Schmooper
Valentine's Day!
Day.
Happy Romance Night! Woo! We are so excited. It is Romance Night 2022, our second annual Valentine's Day romantic and spicy reading here. If you didn't catch me in the first beginning moments, I have a beautiful chocolate covered strawberry right here, which I will be enjoying.
Delicious.
Gonna
And
be amazing. And Chris, what do you have? What beverage do you have today?
I've got another Murphy's because this is the last of my Murphy's. I was gonna have a different beer, but I drank it last night. So
Oh,
I know. Well,
you love that Murphy's, so I think it's a win. I think it's still a good thing.
Yeah, I like to get a little variety, but it's all right, man. It's solid. It's solid.
It is good. It is good. We were getting everybody online, making sure everything is all set. But as soon as I have a moment, I'm gonna pop my pink Moscato bubbly. Super classy, very sweet. That's what I'll be up to tonight. So you can watch me get progressively sillier. Saucier as the evening goes on.
That's a big battle.
Absolutely. So we are very excited, of course, to be here with you tonight. We have 7 fabulous writers, including myself, who will be sharing with you this evening. And we'll do an official introduction in a moment. But Chris, I'm dying to know, do you have any special Valentine's Day plans?
No.
No.
Monday is not a great Valentine's.
Monday.
Kind of a dreary Valentine's Day.
It's kind of a bummer, to be honest. But I have been celebrating Valentine's Day for about a week and a half with my little cookies that I made.
Oh.
Yeah, those pretty little cookies. And I've been trying to learn some romantic songs on guitar, a little bit, having a little fun over there. And I just had a fabulous Galentine's dinner with my friend and fellow Fumfa alum, Megan Muldowney, last night.
Yeah, you guys went out and had some fancy food.
We did. We had some really fancy food. It was awesome. And we had this little salad going on. It was incredible. We love the burrata. And we had some steak and asparagus and mashed potatoes. And then we had a flourless chocolate cake for 2. It was awesome. And we both had 2 really strong cocktails. We were feeling amazing, Chris. It was a good time. Listen, everybody, throw those Valentine's Day plans in the chat. We want to know what you're going to be up to.
We do want to know.
We sure do.
Mom and Dad are here.
Hey, Mom and Dad. Listen, Super Bowl, Schmooper Bowl. What the heck is the Super Bowl, you guys, right? Am I right? Please.
Okay.
Who cares about football? What? When you can have amazing poetry and prose, sexy, romantic, fabulous poetry and prose. Come on, people. Yeah, I see the watcher. I see the viewer count increasing over here. And also, the one that we can see internally doesn't include Twitter. And we always have, quite a few people watching on Twitter. Twitter folks, we see you. But we don't see you until after the fact, actually, because we can only count YouTube and Facebook in here. But thank you for watching. We're very excited. And, well, it is 7 o'clock, Chris. So it's time to give our official welcome.
Happy Valentine's Day Eve, everybody. Time to get romantic. Time to get spicy and saucy. and
It is.
who knows what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah,
Just
really.
right, make sure you have like a hose
Well,
or like a spritzer to
mm-hmm,
just like because when
mm-hmm.
it's sweating,
I hope you have your sexy beverages and a sexy little snack to enjoy while you're enjoying these incredible writers and their writing. Make sure the kids are in bed. Make sure the kid don't, get no adults only. Perhaps we might have some extra spicy readings, and we want you to be ready with your emojis, people. Throw some hearts up there for the romantic readings, the very romancy, lovely readings. Throw some little hot chili peppers up there for the spicy ones. We want to get creative with those emojis.
nice.
We want to see how many emojis we can get this time. On Facebook, if you have that little heart emoji, you can make the many hearts go flying. We want to see it all. We really do. And we're excited that you've chosen you've chosen us over the Super Bowl. Oh my God.
That's
Um,
right. And it's
but,
just you'll miss the first half. Nothing happens.
yeah,
Just
no.
nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We saw that
then
like go up. Yeah.
you get to
That's right.
see the exciting part. You get to see the end. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Well, would you like to know who you'll be seeing tonight if you haven't seen our beautiful ads that I've tonight we have, as I said, 7 incredible writers. I will be sharing with you tonight. Exciting. And we also have Generalissimo, Brian Franco, Susan M. Davis, Ron Mark Trankler Thompson, Terry Rose Dirtson, Philip J. Curtis, aka Midnight, Meredith Caser, and it's going to be really awesome. And they're going to be sharing some love with you. You need to give them some love. Make sure you're in the comments, putting some emojis up there, and make sure
Love
you're having a good time.
they love fest.
It is going to be a love fest. Also, speaking of showing your love, Chris and I would love to share with you. Oh,
Yeah. T-shirts,
the
baby.
fabulous t-shirts. As you can see, I am wearing purple. Chris is wearing the black Fumfa Poets and Writers
No,
Live t-shirt with our original sort of banner logo, and you too can get yourself a t-shirt, and also show some love to us. I'm gonna throw something up here. All right. So Chris and I, we do this for free, and Fumfa Live will always be free to watch, live, archived, etc. We love what we do, and we want to be here with you always and forever. But if you would like to show some appreciation, some love to us, you can PayPal us a beer's worth of money, a dollar, anything to help us pay for StreamYard, pay for Canva, and also to perhaps, buy our little writer selves a beverage or something. If you would like to donate $25, the shirt comes to you, and just make sure to put your address and your size and color preferences into the note at this link. And if you choose to donate $25 or more, the shirt goes to you. And we will be in communication with you regarding that. So anyways, we have it in purple, we have it in black, as Chris is showing you, and we also have it in a beautiful royal blue color, which neither of us have ordered yet, but we trust is super lovely.
I'm going to get one of those next.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we're not gonna overdo this. Just if you want a T-shirt, send in some bucks, and
Send in some bucks.
T-shirt. It will last a lifetime.
It
And
sure will.
go off to all your writer friends.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, before we get started, we do need to get started.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what is coming up after this week real quick?
Yes, I sure can. Next week, we have Elizabeth Strauss and Blake Z. Wrong. And then,
Mm.
that's right. The week after that, we have our friend Vale Larkin and Chris Terracchio, who was in the Connecticut Literary Anthology. And then in the weeks following that, we've got folks like Christine Califas, Ken Cormier. I think we have Nicole Caruso Garcia, correct?
Yes, we do.
And then in about a month, maybe a little bit more, we've got our spring open mic night. So if you're interested in participating in that, if you want to write something maybe a little springy and would like to share it with people, please get in touch. And then after that, we have our 2-year anniversary plans to be announced, but don't miss it.
Yeah, we're very excited, and we thank you so much for being with us and for helping this to be a pretty incredible 2 years. But Chris, without further ado, let's get into the readings.
Who's up first, Katie? Oh,
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 oh my God, it's me.
it's you. So I guess I should read your bio. That would be awkward if you had
Well,
to
that
read.
would be all right.
Catherine Katie Schneider is an adult. Oh wait, no. Catherine Katie Schneider
I am.
is an adult ESL professor and poet, as well as a co-founder and co-host of this very thing, this literary live stream, Fumfa Poets and Writers Live. In addition to her writing and teaching, she has been a mentor with We Are Not Numbers, a project helping young Palestinian writers to tell their stories and publish them in English. Her first book of poetry, I Used to Remember the Story of How, was published by Finishing Line Press in November 2019. Keep your eyes peeled for that next collection. It's going to be out there before we know it. Her poems have appeared in Ruminate, Blue Line, The Poetry Porch, The Paddock Review, and Collateral, and her poetry has been nominated for a Pushcart Prize. She's also collaborated with musician and producer Dave Robertson on an ongoing poetry music project. Find her poetic and creative work on social media under the name The Story of How.
Woo!
And without further ado, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I am so excited to share some of my romantic and mildly spicy poetry with you. All right, let's get started. Let's get into it. Let me get my reading up here, my document going. All right. So the context for this first poem is that I'm an adult ESL teacher, right? So since I'm teaching, especially adults, they get curious about my love life, and I don't tell them anything. I try to stay private, but that doesn't stop them from asking. That's all you need to know as we get started. This first poem is called Lucky. The person who loves you is lucky. A former student flirted. He fished to know. But would you call yourself lucky for the love you keep burning, though you leave me alone? Our story is old and long, bittersweet. You could give so many reasons. You could play in rhythm when you played with me. You could be held, just you, yourself, naked completely. You could be pursued, hermit though you are, and be found, smile of disbelief, heart gratefully beating. You're not soft like me. Your spine like Montserrat, long limbs of a tree, eyes golden brown, years unspoken, beaming. You are the one I talked to through the night. You are the one I sought. I made a private trail to you, traveling always on my own. I could call you avoidant, mysterious, beloved. And what would you say? Would you call yourself lucky because you are the one who loves me? All right. Okay, this next poem is a really funny poem that I'm excited to share with you. I don't write too many funny poems, but I but here it is. It's called Quarantine Love Dreams. In the spring of 2020, things were hard, things were sad, things were difficult, very isolating. But my subconscious really came up with some entertaining dreams for me. So here we go. Here it is. It's in 3 sections. I hope you enjoy this poem about what my subconscious has brewed up for me. Quarantine Love Dreams 1. Night on my bed with the phone screen glow in the video calls of multiple tabs, laptop in the black and navy blue, searing light of it all, the faces of Dr. Fauci and Mena Massoud. Messages, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted. I'm getting many messages. Whoa. Okay, let me back up. All right. Let me start again from the beginning. Apologies. 1. Night on my bed and the phone screen glow, the video calls of multiple tabs, laptop in the black and navy blue, searing light of it all, the faces of Dr. Fauci and Mena Massoud, messages and video calls and the auto plays. I'm calling them, texting, come over, proposing comfort and sex anticipation. 2. Though it had been years since the last time, we went on a hike, though not in the forest. We trekked instead in the sunshine across an empty mall parking lot. You were behind me, a safe distance away. I looked up at the clouds and the blue sky between, everything quiet and desolation on pause. But then you were there beside me, so near and tall. I turned my head, you gently bent to kiss me, something you had never done. 3. In the middle of a main road, in the middle of the day, I stood watching you doing bike tricks in the street. I was elated. The show was for me. I held my hands to my heart. Your smile was beaming. Then I was in a car, in a line of cars, in another empty parking lot. I proceeded onward as I saw you outside. I waved as I passed, and you did too. I watched you over my shoulder to see what you would do. You moved. You walked up the line, got into my car, and said, "This is your last chance to not be more than friends." I said, "I want more than friends." And then, good Lord, you took off your shirt and grabbed my face and kissed me with a wild, sloppy, wet kiss. Hot, amazing. I said, "I want this. But not here. Please stay. We'll keep going when we're alone forever." Cut to the last song. The happy ending has come. I'm dancing down the empty main road, singing. So those are my wild dreams. It's sort of appropriate that in that first one that's about distraction and video calls and messages that I actually got distracted. Apologies, everyone. All right. So this next poem is a kind of a spicy, sensual poem, also written from isolation from the time of quarantine. And so it has 2 titles, which I list together. It's called From Isolation and Sidelight. We wrote so many times in messages illuminating screens, our fantasy, our dream. I'd straddle his lap, touch his beard in the sidelight, and he'd kiss me. We'd find our own current, caressing and rising, slow falling, unwinding, merging shadows, humming, gliding, honeycomb in the night. So deep the trance together in our minds. Lord, let the signal find the satellite. Ooh, Katie Schneider. Oh my God. All right. This next poem is called, it also is a double title. So 2 titles that both sort of speak to what the poem is about. My mom just said in the chat, "Wow, who is this?" I'll tell you later, Mom. Not a current thing for anybody who is interested. I'm totally single. Please don't worry about that. Okay. Anyhow, this next poem is called New Love, Transatlantic Flight. Gentle keyboard tones bleed in my headphones, blurred by alcohol the night of my closed eyes. I know you will be near me. In spirit, here you are. I turn my heart away from ache to your love, a flame of life. Down tempo bass moving, touch down another country, cologne smell of hotel lobby, our bond I carry with me. Soon you'll come to meet me, you'll find me standing there. Now by the window, summer blaring, I already feel you here. In the void of what's been lost, in the hollow of the scar, your kindness meets the pain and gives birth to fresh wonder. All right, and I have one more minute. I'm going to jump into this last poem. I've been talking about quarantine, and this poem was about my very first very elated reaction to this very beautiful date that I had about a year, I think just after vaccination. It was like my first time back in the city. It was a very special moment for me. Like I said, I'm still single, so don't worry too much about this poem. Anybody who's interested, but anyways, this really captured this moment so beautifully for me, and hopefully it resonates for you. It's called Renaissance Man. Sweet man, you walk in the newborn city as gently as you speak. Slowly and with kindness, a bright smile, dark hair, flannel, a homemade mask, a calm, warm spirit beside me. Tell me more and show me in any language you choose the things you learned from reading, your favorite thing to do, and what you find out exploring, welcoming the new. I listen, I'll go anywhere. Please invite me with you. The lonely, hungry night in me before today was raging. Tragedy and barrenness had already swept through the streets. I met you tenuously in its leaving. And now this blessing, human comfort, the thrill of presence, being here together, living and breathing. Thank you so much. That is my reading. Thank you so much. Oh, a little spicy.
It's kind of spicy. I think.
Thank you so much.
It's funny. Well, your mom says, right? She says, "Wow, who is this?" I don't think she was talking about whoever you were writing about. I think she was talking about
the dream. Oh, that was absolutely. Oh, maybe she was saying that as a joke because she knows exactly who it is.
She's like, "Who is it? Who is this writing these poems?"
Oh, who is this writing these poems? Yeah, that's true. That's that too. So many ways. Chris, wow. Thank you so much. Oh, what a treat. Chris, I closed my Facebook because I was getting so many messages, and that's fine. That's great. I love messages. Please send messages.
You were probably getting some stuff on like what are those, okay,
my dating app.
on what do you call it, Tinder. You're probably getting blasted.
Blown up. Chris, thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for the love and support there. That was so much fun to share those poems with you. They're all going to be included in my new manuscript, which actually has a new title. It's called Breaking the Fever.
Oh, nice.
Wow! It's a little spicy in a way. Okay, so I'm getting back to my bio so that we can introduce my bio page so that I can introduce our next reader, Chris.
Let's do it to it.
Let's do it. Let's welcome up Generalissimo. Okay. Boom! Oh, Generalissimo, look at you!
Fedora.
He's looking fine. He's ready for me to read his bio. All right, Generalissimo. Looking hot. All right. Okay, here we go. Generalissimo. Ryan Franco is a gay, Jewish, 55-year-old poet, spoken word performer from Brunswick, Maine. He was a member of the Portland, Maine Rhythmic Cypher Slam team that competed in the 2014 National Poetry Slam in Oakland, California. He has performed on stage at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe in New York City. His poetry is published in the US, Australia, Ireland, and Scotland, and has featured for poetry events and podcasts in the US, Canada, England, Ireland, and Scotland. He hosts Cafe Generalissimo Open Mic, is a member of Beardo Bards of the Bardo, painter, sculptor, gardener, and culinary genius. Take it away, Generalissimo.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to say, Katie, you look spectacular. I love your makeup tonight. And my first poem is called Love Song. A long, subdued blast of a trumpet, the gentle humming strum of an upright bass, the warbled sound of a saxophone making its presence known, fingers running across a piano keyboard, impersonating a tap dancer lightly tap dancing across 88 upside down steel drums, a vocalist singing a song calm and clean, straight and smooth. A song that is a love song, a song about a love that is pure and incorruptible, a song that imitates a single tear, falling smoothly down a cheek, its salty residue landing on the edge of a joyous smile. This next poem is called Whirlwind. When a romance starts as a whirlwind, a kaleidoscope of autumn leaves can rise into firmament, forming airborne eddies, creating previously non-existent rainbows. All winds eventually die down. All hurricanes have eyes that exist in total calm while surrounded by unbridled chaos. Once they make landfall, they slow but will incite flooding till their demise. People in love will inevitably discover aftermath debris from lovers' past storms. More than often, that debris shapes the quirks and idiosyncrasies they fall in love with. Such invisible scars that should be ugly instead shine like diamonds inside lumps of coal, waiting for the right person to understand that because we are willing to get a little coal dust under our fingernails when scratching our way out of the whirlwind, it is the previous storms we have weathered that have formed our ability to love more thoughtfully. This next piece is called Kiss, and I found this book of love poems a long time ago in New Orleans, and it was written in like 1893. And this was a poem that I wrote to the author of the book. Her name was Lurleen Radcliffe. It's called Kiss. I can tell by your poetry that you are a good kisser. I can tell by the way you blink during pauses, the way you close your eyes after certain lines, the way you sigh every time you sigh. You are not a fan of sloppy kisses. No, you are a purveyor of sweet, soft, gentle kisses. Even your hard kisses are soft and gentle. When you bite my lower lip, it tickles. When we kiss, the goddess of silence screams so passionately, Aurora Borealis covers her ears. Though I shall never know your kiss, when I read your poetry, I hear your voice, how your every breath respects your thoughts and provokes words to come alive on page and give a sweet, soft, gentle kiss. The next poem is called Savior. Will you be my savior? Will you be my life preserver? Will you be the one to preserve my sanity? Will you be my lover? Will you be my best friend? Will you talk with me when I won't talk back and know that I'm really screaming and crying? May I lay my head on your warm-headed chest? May I breathe in your skin, your body, your soul, your life breath? Will you make love with me? Will you sleep next to me so I can hear your heartbeat rise up from the mattress through my pillow like a lullaby written just for me? Unrequited. I am a deer in the headlights in your presence, just the sight of you. When you graze my elbow unintentionally, oops. When you lightly tap me on the shoulder. When you say hello to me. God help my heart if you wave or smile at me from across a crowded room. If you dare to look me in the eyes. For me to tell you how I feel would make my heart beat so fast it would have to jump out of my chest to survive. I will write my feelings in a poem, in a squiggly black and white cardboard covered comp book, tear the page from the notebook, fold it in thirds, shove it in an unmarked envelope under a pile of paid bills in my desk drawer so I shall never risk reading it to you or anyone else. If I did so, I might learn why the word crush exists. You could hold my mushy heart in your hands and twist and wring out my ability to smile, leaving only residual heartbreak tears that would never dare exit my eyes. I will take a deep breath. I shall never exhale. I will accept our existences as separate. I will accept being afraid of my own shadow is the same as being afraid of being in love. I will hope one day you will reciprocate my feelings without my expressing them to you, so I can finally be able to read you this poem. How to heal a broken heart. I thought the rapture had happened and we were the last two people on earth. A hazy yellow streetlight lit your face. Tear after tear fell down your left cheek from the same spot. What I did next was both inappropriate and appropriate at the same time. I touched your face and traced the track of your tear. At that moment, you stopped crying. At that moment, I noticed my calloused fingertip had marred the visage of a polished limestone Bernini goddess. No one was there to witness my single sinful act. At home, I kicked off my shoes, an oblong maroon something was stuck to my right shoe. I peeled it from the shoe. It expanded and contracted, expanded, contracted, expanded, contracted, contracted. I realized it was half of your broken heart. 19 years later, I am 80 pounds heavier and almost bald. Your Julie Christie, Dr. Zhivago long blonde hair is now silver and Mia Farrow short. Your Liz Taylor violet eyes have feet of crows. Your crimson lips have faded to a muted coral. You touched my shoulder from behind and said, thank you. I said, do I know you? 19 years ago in this exact spot, you wiped a tear from my eye, and I realized caring can transpire from happenstance. To me, the touch of your finger felt smooth as the finest silk. This little trail of tears on my face happened long before we met. Too many misguided choices and so much crying have cut through my soul, like a hurricane cuts through a barrier island. I opened my wallet and pulled out from a folded piece of paper half of a broken heart. You told me that broken hearts heal themselves by shedding broken skins that die so the heart can live on. You reached in your purse and pulled out a satin bag which held the other half. It expanded and contracted, expanded, contracted, expanded, jumped into the night air and brought my half of your broken heart back to life. One more, it's called I So Badly Wish to Exist in Your Ink. I like watching you from afar when you write your poetry. When I hear your pen scratch against paper as I watch from the other room. When your emotions are transformed into ink. I hope the thoughts that are encompassed in the ink are about me. About how I like to lay my head on your pillow when you wake and rise before me. How those moments you are absent from our bed leads me to your scent. How I taste your tangerine lip balm whenever you enter a room. How my mirror is more honest when you look me in the eyes. How I am no longer afraid to cry in front of others. How knowing you exist in my life tells my tears it's okay to fall. How the sound of your voice lets me know hugs still exist. I hope the thoughts that become your poetry are laced with the love I feel for you. The love you infuse into my heart with your love. Thank you very much.
Woo! Beautiful, 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 Generalissimo. So tender.
No, they were so
Tender,
touching.
lovely poems.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you very
Absolutely
much.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I love those. I love those.
And Generalissimo, you look amazing as well. Thank you for the compliment. And you, sir, look fabulous in that hat. A nice beard, by the way.
New hat. Thank you.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Working.
Generalissimo, thank you so much for reading with us tonight. Beautiful, tender, lovely poems.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chris, wasn't he just fabulous?
I was so beautiful. The kiss poem. I thought, what a great idea to write a poem to somebody who wrote a book from 50 years ago or something. Just
wow.
cool.
Really, so lovely. What a treat. What a treat to have Generalissimo with us tonight. That was so great. So great. Well, Chris, we have a Fumfa alum, superstar spicy reading friend with us tonight, and we are so excited to welcome Susan M. Davis. Welcome, Susan.
There she is look at those fingernails.
The nails are gorgeous, Susan.
Thank you.
Oh, the volume is a little low, Susan.
Okay.
Oh, just make sure the microphone isn't covered.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Just everybody turn up your
Be
volume
quiet.
a
Be
little.
quiet. We want to hear every word.
Lord, I've never had a problem with having a loud voice.
You're good now. You're better now. It's better. No
All right.
worries, Susan. We love you. And everybody get your heart emojis and spicy pepper, chili pepper emojis ready. I'm going to wait, it's my turn. Yeah, okay. Hold on. I will read Susan's bio. Yes. No. Wait, did I read Generalissimo? No, Chris, it's your turn to read. Chris, read Susan's bio.
It's combobulated. All right. Susan, I love Susan's bios. They're always a treat.
They're full of Susanosity.
There's like bullet points. Teacher for 28.5 years, 8th grade honors. Retired January 1, 2020, a little more than 2 years ago. Her published memoir is called Where There Is Breath, There Is Life.
Woo.
Lipstick Lesbian, a book of LGBTQ poems, was just published by Adelaide Press.
Congrats.
She's the author of 5 published essays, and she has 3 master's degrees and will graduate in July with her 4th MFA from, you guessed it, Fairfield University.
Woohoo!
She lives with her soulmate, Karen Kazawa, who suffered a brain aneurysm in 2008 and died twice, but was revived. And today she is 95% back to the woman she was 13 and a half years ago, due in no small part to the love and care of our guest tonight. She lives with with Karen and their 3 pups in Southern California, where she likes to wear shorts, and she always reminds us of that. And
yeah, she always rubs it in her faces when it's winter up here in Connecticut.
however, they just bought their retirement home at Del Webb's Resort in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Susan. We can't wait to hear you. Everybody turn up your volume a little bit. We can hear you, Susan. It's just a little bit low. So project as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, because she was fine earlier.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. We're gonna lean in. We're gonna love it. Oh, it's so. Take it away, Susan. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you. Here is my book called Lipstick Lesbian. And the cover was done by one of my students. So it really means a lot to me. All right, here we go. I'm reading from Lipstick Lesbian. I know Katie and Chris are waiting for spicy, saucy, sensual, sexual poems, and those will come in a minute. But I wanted to start with a poem I wrote for Karen and me. Spending an evening with you is splendid because we love the same things. Our dogs, reading, and CNN, or eating our cherry jubilee and chocolate chip ice cream cones at 7:45 p.m. after our little pup is in her crate. We dish up our cones together. I get the ice cream. I'm Wozer to Karen. You get the cones. Spoons are out. Eating our ice cream on the bed with our boy pups joining in because they are older. We move like a team in tandem. We know the dance, never out of stride. You to the right, me to the left. Never miss a step. Whoa, Z! My wife. I think I love you more because I almost lost you 13 years ago. A ruptured brain aneurysm almost took you away, but I promised God and you that I would never leave you if He let you live, and I have kept that promise. I know how much it means to you because you tell me every day how much you love me, and you thank me for staying by your side. And we share this journey together. We are called Boo and Bear. Okay, now I'll get into some slimy poems. Wet. Do you like the rain? Is it wet? Like you and me? Do you feel the rain? Slide. Ski slope slippery. Icy just like you and me. Lesbian slick lips. Hole like HOLE. Green eyes that clutched mine, burning a hole through my soul. It's gone. What happened? Red. As a lesbian who wants a woman, lips. Which ones? The lips on your face, of course. My lined, luscious lips, red with a glossy finish, ruby raisin on yours. Your painted fingernails followed my mouth, your fingers caressing my lips, bringing me to a place I had never entered before. Are the fingers the floundering of love? This is how it all began. Sticky fingers coming out as hard like a piece of candy, sweet as chocolate. How hard can that be? Sticky fingers like syrup. Was it hard or soft like me? The box, an array of hard, soft white chocolate. Please come out and play. Okay, next. I put these stickies in and now I'm flipping. I'm so sorry. Okay, so next is going to be, if I could find the darn cap. Sorry. Okay, my affair with a married woman, which many of you know about. Taboo in so many ways. Our secret from all. 2 women, 1 single, 20 years old, 1 married, 33, 1 innocent, a virgin, 1 mature, married with children. Hearts ablaze, the secret ignited the fire, cemented by embers of your touch, stripped down, wetness on the rocks, like the mouth of a waterfall. She knew. I learned. The secrecy kept me coming back, melted by her flame. Love seeping out my pores. This will be about the same person. My first love. slow, slower, time like a clock, tick tock. You wanted me, I didn't understand. Slow, slower, tick tock. Hand to hand we touched, slow, slower, tick tock. Our lips touched, licked, searched, found, slow, slower, tick tock. Fell in love, made love, year after year. Fast, faster, slower only when asked. Tick tock. I loved you. You loved me. The clock ran out. Tick, tick, tick. Okay, the next one is going to be Love is Love. Do you believe love is lust? What makes us taste? Do you know love? Soft, gentle, hard, wise. Coming together, slather the oil, grease her up, down and all around. Do you eat love? I found intimacy not once, not twice. How about 8 times? Can your flame ignite 8 times? Embers at first sight. Not always. Skin to skin. The kiss. Do you hunger for love? Okay, and I'm going to read this one. And this one is about my Karen as well. I never walked away. Online dating are words crisscrossing the internet, intersecting like birds and bees. P.F. Chang's our first date, fortune cookies, holding secrets, a U-Haul the second date. Rheumatoid arthritis was your diagnosis, walking impaired, eating less. Work through it, I used to say. UCLA, the clinical trials. Pills, shots, repeat. Bit by bit, you knew the pain was dissipating. I never walked away. Eating, walking, stairs, available to you once again. Dinner for 2. We didn't falter. 3 dogs to share. 2 condos to maintain. Gay, lovers, what were we? It didn't matter. 4 months later, an explosion in your brain. A brain aneurysm from hell. Tubes in every orifice. You lived in a paralyzed coma for 6 weeks. Should I sneak away? Would you even know? What would your life mean to me? I didn't sign up for this. 5 months of watching you suffer. Frontal lobe took the hit, the executor of all we do. I couldn't leave you. I prayed to God to let you live. I whispered my commitment and love to you in your ear. You couldn't hear, could you? 7 women before you. None made it to my future. Only you. I never walked away. You survived. We married. God had his plan. Thank you.
Susan, so beautiful. I was about to write that 7 women before you, none made it to my future. And also that I promised God and you that I would never leave you. Absolutely gorgeous, Susan. You gave us the spice. You sure did. But such beautiful romance, love, and commitment. We love hearing you. We love seeing you, Susan, and we're thrilled that Karen is doing so well.
Thank you so much. I love you all too.
Yes, and your book of poetry, Lipstick Lesbian, available now.
At
Hold it up.
Amazon.com.
Hold it up again.
Let's see the cover again. Great cover.
Oh, please, yes. My student did it for me.
There you go.
Gorgeous.
A gay 2 lipstick.
Wow.
Write a poem about that.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for having me on. I love you both.
Thank you,
Love
Susan.
you
We love
too.
you, and thank you for the support always. We love your work, and we can't wait to get our hands on Lipstick Lesbian.
Thank you.
Oh, isn't it always great to have Susan on the show, Chris?
Don't you wish that you had her for school as a
Right,
teacher?
a middle school teacher, right?
Mm. Can you imagine how much fun that would have been?
Would be probably the best class I ever had. I'm
Same.
sure of it. Well, Chris, we have several more fabulous
Ooh, we
writers.
gotta keep going. Let's do this.
Yeah, to share with you tonight. We're so excited to welcome for the first time Ron Mark Trankler Thompson. Welcome, Ron Mark.
Thank you so much, Katie. And before you read my bio, thank you so much for featuring me here. I first got to meet you guys a few months ago when you featured my fellow New Yorker poets, Phil, aka Midnight, who we're going to see later today, Paul Concasso and Elemental. And since then, I just love the way you two co-host, your chemistry, your funny, things. And what I also love that it's not just poetry, but a few, I think last week there was some stories as well. You featured my other friends at Poetastic, Brian and
Yes.
Susan, and Meredith. I'm so happy to be here. So thank you again for including me. I really appreciate you guys.
Ron Mark, that is so sweet. Thank you so much. That is so kind. We love doing this, and we love meeting awesome new people like you. And we love that we've gotten a chance to meet your friends and just have this incredible big community. And we hope that this is just the first of many times that you'll be on the show. Thank you so much, Ron Mark. I'm going to read your bio to introduce you. And it is a super fabulous bio. Get a load of this. Germany-born Bronxite Ron Mark R.M. Trankler Thompson is a writer, playwright, poet, spoken word performer, producer, event host, MC, blogger, artist, photographer, podcaster, and technician. Rock on! Ron Mark. His memoir, essays, and poems were published in 3 of 5 Bronx Memoir Project anthologies. Ron's nature poem and photograph are featured in the Love Letters to Gaia anthology, and 3 of his original short stage plays were produced and directed. The most recent was included in Art Define's Flip the Script virtual showcase and printed anthology. Ron regularly performs in-person and online open mics at Art in the Basin, Bronx Art and Fun Club, the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, Creative Expressions NYC, BWOMS, Fincabulary, and The Word is Right. During the pandemic, he facilitated 2 New York Public Library weekly writing circle groups and co-produced Art in the Basins and Creative Expressions NYC's transition to virtual open mics. Since fall 2021, he hosts bi-weekly online workshops at New Mexico-based The Word is Right. In 2019, Ron founded and currently runs Bronx Art and Fun Hub organization, producing and hosting free programs and workshops for adults. Also, in 2021, he became the assistant producer of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe weekly online and monthly hybrid open mic and monthly 2 venues, 1 mic events hosted by Advocate of Words. Ron's social media is Ron Mark Thompson, and go take a look at our social media to see his various handles and make sure that you follow him. Ron Mark, we are so excited to hear you.
Thank you so much. And it's so funny. As a writer, I obviously had to give you a shortened bio. It's always great, to cut down the bio. So it's so great to hear it, from someone else. So thank you, Katie. Thank you, Chris. So I meant to read a story to you that I wrote about a couple on the subway, a little bit romantic. I wrote it like 4 or 5 years ago. I can't find it, So I think I know what I'm going to do on Valentine's Day. I'm going to clean up my computer to find that story. So I'm going to give you 4 shortish poems instead. Little bit romance. I don't know if they're spicy, but they're still in the theme of Valentine's Day. And I'm going to read them to you in chronological order. The first one I wrote in 2018. It was published in an online magazine, and I was still a baby poet back then. And I call this Everyday Love. Is it indeed that time of the year again, the 14th of the second month? Shall we shower each other with flowers or chocolate, or will a kiss and a card suffice? Go out to dinner, enjoy a meal, or stay home and go 50 shades of da, da, da. Roses will be overpriced, restaurants will be crowded. So instead, let us show affection all the time, going shopping together or strolling through the park, holding hands, or a subtle pat on the butt. A meal we cook at home, whatever the weather, and I will wash our dishes afterwards. My heart will be yours all through the year, and you will be my full-time Valentine. And that's the end of the first one. And I kind of attribute that to my grandparents because, as much as silly as it sounds, my grandpa always gave a little subtle pat on the butt on my grandmother, and that's how he showed affection to her. So I just found that was cute. So shout out to my grandparents. All right, next one is a poem that I wrote and read in February 2020. It is titled What is Love? And I performed that at a local non-profit organization in my neighborhood in the Bronx where I live. And it was literally like 3 weeks before the pandemic. Obviously, nobody knew we're going to be all on lockdown. So I wrote the following. What is love? What is love? What is it to love? Is it feeling intense emotion, or is it lust? Is it desire? Is passion a must? Is it yearning when your beloved is far away? Is it happiness when he or she returns to stay? Is it something you really, really like a television show you keep binging, and you're upset when it gets canceled? Or is it the need to hear from your lover all day long? Calls, texts, DMs. You cannot wait to get home to be with him or her. Is it snuggling, cuddling, eating dinner, getting roses every day? Is it closing the toilet seat when you're done? Is it washing laundry, doing other chores? Is it hearing thank you after you took out the garbage? Or is it no arguing? Is it not going to bed being mad? Or is it grief when love is gone? Is it shame when you then meet someone else? Is it guilt when your heart is ready anew? We all need love, some more, some less. Most of us cannot survive without it. What is love? How do you define love? What makes love special for you? How is it for me? I think love is whatever you want it to be. Thank you, and that's the end of my second poem. Sorry about that. I apologize about it. My alarm, of course, Murphy's Law. The alarm goes off right in my performance. I apologize. All right, next poem that I wrote a year ago. Don't Say It with Flowers. I think it was a writing prompt at a workshop, and I wrote this February 2021. Most of us were still in lockdown quarantine. I think the vaccinations had just started. And when I pulled this up, I'm like, you know what? Even though we're kind of toward the end of the pandemic, some things may still apply. So it's a little bit reminiscent. So here we go, 1 year ago, February 2021. Don't say it with flowers. Pandemic, first anniversary, nothing to celebrate, quite Barbary. Everything canceled or delayed, indoor dining, no beach, no mermaid. No theaters, no concerts in the park. Is that really our new hallmark? Thank goodness Valentine's Day is still on for everyone, not just people named Dawn or Ron. However, don't say it with a flower this year. We are not yet in the same household. I still feel. Do not give me a hug, don't give me a kiss. I do not want your in-person bliss. Keep your germs as far away as you can. Does not matter if you're a woman or a man. Cupid, please take a bow this weekend. Keep your arrows on your end. Cupid, please stay away, stay home, do not dispatch. Instead, we will use the internet to be with our perfect match. Do not send me chocolate, don't give me sugar, unless you want me to get sick. No longer a looker. Okay, I give in. Send me the box. I will eat all. I don't want to do talks. I will eat and put on the extra pounds. Maybe you will hear me making strange sounds. And then I can meet you at the gym. We can run together. We can swim. Valentine's Day with our mask. We are just kinky, if anyone asks. So bring it on, Valentine's after all. I like you, but don't make me fall. Don't say it with a card, don't say it with flowers. After the gym, we will go right back to Zoom to kill the next hours. Virtually, we will talk on Valentine. We will relax, no gifts, but lots of wine. Another round of a safe romance. We can smile, we can dance. Salvaged another year of passion and lust. Not even that bad virus could bring a bust. I know this poem may have been silly and probably did not make sense. I sincerely hope I did not cause any offense. Have a happy Valentine's Day. And if you want flowers after all, buy yourself a bouquet. Good afternoon, good day, and good night. May your evening and spirit be extra bright. And here we go. My last poem for today is a new one that I wrote a few days ago, and I call it Happy Valentine's Day. I guess I could have come up with a better title, but here we go. And I'm sorry. And this poem is for all the single people that may not look forward to tomorrow. I'm going to tell you it's okay. Valentine's Day, it's perfectly fine. So here we go. Don't let pressure give into your single life and fun. Even if it is snowy or cold, remember you can be your own sun. Enjoy the day, enjoy your home, enjoy the evening. Don't wait for somebody to knock. Don't wait for a lover or a fling. Don't be sad if no one serenades you. Just serenade yourself. Stop being blue. Play your own song. Play those strings hard. Remember, in your deck, you are in charge of your card. Pour yourself a glass of the finest wine or champagne. Your home is your own kingdom. It is your terrain. And if you're brave and not afraid to add a bit sugar to your night, buy your own box of chocolate and eat it. Don't be so uptight. Some couples probably celebrate Valentine's Day because they are jealous and secretly want to be single. They wish they could party more, be free, and look and touch and mingle. Valentine's should also not be restrained to one day of the year and one bouquet of flowers. In my opinion, Valentine's could last 365 days a year, full of showers. Hey, if my poem may be a bit silly, so what? I hope I made you smile. I want you to be happy. I want you to succeed. It is my style. I'm gonna end my feature and poem as I do on most many nights. Enjoy the day, enjoy the week, and please feel extra shiny and bright. Thank you so much, Fumfa. I appreciate you guys.
Ron, we love you.
Thank you.
Chris, weren't those the loveliest, most fun and sweet and beautiful poems? Cheers!
Yeah, thank you guys.
Ron Mark, we clearly need to have you back. We need to hear more. We're so glad we've connected. These were such fun, lovely, uplifting, encouraging poems. And, you'll have to come back and share that story with us. But I'm so glad that you shared these pieces.
Great.
What fun.
Thank you. And just for everyone to remember, no matter how bad the pandemic is, I mean, there is a reason I put my smiley pillow behind me, because I want us to be nice and cheer up. And look at this. We could be sitting, watching Super Bowl, doing God knows what, but no, instead we are here together, having a good time, and, I've been watching, if I miss the live stream, I always go back the next morning, YouTube, and watch you guys. So thank you guys. It was really, I'll be back definitely for sure.
Ron, that means so much to us. We love you. We love your spirit, and we've got to have you back. Thank you so much for reading with us tonight.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
How absolutely delightful. Were we not all just smiling and absolutely delighted by that, Chris?
I think there was a sea of smiley faces out there.
Absolutely. I was in the backstage like, yeah. Anyhow, Chris, it's been an amazing night so far, and it will continue to be an amazing night. We still have Terry Rose Jurtson, Philip J. Curtis, and Meredith Caser coming to you. But now, let's welcome Terry Rose Jurtson. Hey, Terry.
There she is.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Happy Valentine's Day. Pre-Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day Eve.
That's right,
Yes.
Chris.
I tried to wear a Valentine's Day shirt, but it's not quite coming out. There it is.
Oh, it's cool. It's sexy. Oh, it's hot. I love it, Terry. Cool. Cool. Very cool.
There you go.
All right, Chris, do you have Terry's bio?
Yes, I do. Terry Rose Jurtson is an artist, wife, mother, and peer recovery specialist who took up poetry in 2020 as a way to cope with the new normal. She regularly attends open mics at the New Eureka Poetry Cafe. Fincabulary, the word is right, W-R-I-T-E. Nomadic Press, Tumble Words Project, Society X, Barbed Wire, A Blot from the Blue, Bronx at Fun Hub Poetry in the Brew, and has featured on, right here, Fumfa Live, and the Forever's 7 and Mitch's Salon poetry events. She receives honorable mentions for online submissions from writers around the world and Society X. Currently, she's working on her first poetry book with our friends at Red or Green Books.
Yeah.
This is one of those books. We are.
that's right.
I'm going to read from this book tonight.
Oh, good. She's a
I am
contributor.
in here. This is erotic poetry.
Touching Tongues, and you can find her on Terry Rose Jurtson on Facebook, and iFunny's mom at Instagram, and just check out our website there to see the spelling there, and you can find her online. Take it away.
Hey, Terry.
So I'm on page, there's 30 women in this book, and I am on page one. My poems are on page 146 and 147, and my bio is on 145. So I'm going to just read this one called Escapade in the Rain. Cold, wet, rubbery seat of swing on deserted playground, not flexible enough to encompass me. Two writhing, awkward lovers trying new sexual positions unsuccessfully. Chain of swing cutting into my fleshy thighs as I wrap them around him, aiming for the drenched target. Having so much fun in the downpour. I didn't want to complain about the pain. It was so romantic, yet tragic, our escapade in the rain. And I always write about love because I had a lot of different kinds of relationships in my life. So I don't want to read that one next. So I recently hosted a Tumble Words workshop online, and the theme was love and peace. So this was one poem that came out of there. Love, what is it? Is it from the songs of songs inspired by the original creator? Is it the unknowable, indescribable, fleeting emotion that is too fickle to stay around for very long? Is it the thing that makes my heart beat on a daily basis and makes me want to choose between life and death? Neruda says it is the infinite ache that embodies a woman. And this is from another workshop I was in with Kemlyn Bappy. I see leaves, but I feel fire. Fire, like the huge ones we would build at the lake in the winter. Crisp, chilly air surrounding everyone, numbing our fingers and toes. We congregated around the bonfire, drinking alcohol, wine, beer, usually. Youth, meeting new prospects, handsome, athletic, easy on the eyes, specimens. Courting rituals, display of strengths, all to win the attention of us. We were the does. They were the young bucks, staking out their territory, fighting with each other over who would be the dominant male. He was one from Russian descent, thick curly blonde hair, striking blue eyes, chiseled jaw and body, climbing on top of me. I let him feel me. I was feeling him. He was ready, and I was hesitant. I moved in a direction of impenetrable angle. I was going to stop this. I had to stop him from deflowering me, but I was enjoying everything else, and he was much more experienced, an expert with his tongue work. I was fully engorged and definitely ripe for his intentions. However, he was not the one. He was just in it for the one and done. I had to stop him before I was compromised. These were the days of no condoms and unplanned pregnancies. Stupid youth. If I only knew then what I know now, he would not have gone away unsatisfied. That was that one. I'm trying to keep it spicy. I do have some spicy stuff. I like that one, but that's not as spicy.
Wow!
Is my time up?
Oh no, just woohooing for the spiciness.
I got scared for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, Joe, I couldn't help it. Spicy alert.
All right, I'm looking for the spicier. All right, well, this one is really appropriate for the theme. So, have you ever heard of a golden shovel poem? It's where you take the line of a poem and you make that line of the poem and each word end in the line of your poem that you're writing. So I used "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways." That's from Elizabeth Barrett Browning, of course. So I come up with, "Tell me how you do the things you do. How can I show you my love? None shines like thee. Emotions in and out. Let your ways encompass me. Like multitudes of stars cannot count. Sipping coffee's foamy froth. Together, sharing life always." And I have a kind of funny story. I like this one, so I'm going to tell this. Popular girl in high school. I recently looked up a person of interest on Facebook and noticed that the quarterback on the football team and the head cheerleader had reproduced and created mini thems and are still crazy and together after all these years. They are about 5 years older than me, and they both still look the same as when I last saw them some 30 years ago. They must have found the fountain of youth or sold their souls to the devil to remain forever young. I have also remained beautiful for my age, and I did not have to make any deals and attribute it to my good genes. And to do this one. This is a 78-word wish. I wish my husband would spend less time on the couch and more time in the kitchen, either helping me with the laundry or making dinner. I wish he would hear how upset it makes me when I point out that the laundry is not going to do itself and the dinner will not make itself. I want to go back to the days when he was busy trying to impress me with romance before we got married. And I have a couple more shorties. That time when he said, "Hold still," and eyeing each other suspiciously, we were naked, combined, motionless, tidal wave approaching, unbeknownst only to me, due to appropriate G-spot pressure, releasing a volcanic earth-shattering eruption, bringing confusing emotions. Afterwards, he slowly withdrew, knowing that it would be the last and best time. The shape of your lips, soft and full, pressing against mine, they have a warmth that thaws my icy bones. I remember your kisses moving around my body, starting on my breathless neck, sending shivers, hair standing on end, alerting my nipples to be on guard for the hard pressing of your organ into my leg, feeling the full shape of you as we begin to move in symphony to the beat of John Coltrane in the background. Juices flowing, hormones, sexual energy in the air. What is stopping us from going further? Underwear. Take them off slowly if you want to tease me. Please me. Please me. Do I have any more time or am I up?
Wow! Terry, we love the spice and the humor. We love it. We love it, Terry. Terry, we could give you time for maybe one more.
Okay. Actually, yes. Oops, where did it go? Oh, all right. Looks like it's not going to be that. Looks like it's going to be this. This is a new one I wrote. Oops, where'd it go? Okay. No, not that one. Here we go. Oh, it is this one. All my old loves lie wrapped around the fingers of strangers, discarded promises long gone, hardly remembered now. Lord knows I spent a lifetime trying to forget old photos, seemingly so important at the time to mark memories. Can't bring myself to throw away. Curled, brittle edges clutter inside old dusty shoeboxes, hardly promising happiness when accidentally glimpsed. Wiping single tear from face when realizing they serve their purpose. Unleashing the messy things that still hold space inside me. Catching me off guard, believing I was too hard. Stumbled upon now, never sought after. Never to be placed in frames again. Never asking to be remembered again. They live with piles of old tax records and unfinished projects like me. Thank you.
We love it, Terry. Woo! Such a fabulous, Chris, wasn't that just such a fabulous variety of romance, of longing, of memory, of spice, and also of humor?
all mixed together.
I'm the total package. What can I tell you?
Everything for us.
You are, Terry. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. We love it. We love your poems. We love you. Thank you. We love that shirt too. Oh, awesome. Wasn't she fabulous, Chris?
That was great. That was fun.
It really was fun. It really was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and spicy. Woo, baby.
Speaking of which.
What's that?
Who's next?
Speaking of spicy, we have our dear friend, Philip J. Curtis, aka Midnight. He is currently in New York City, but so he is like very close to us right now here in Connecticut, but he is with his family. He is visiting. He is watching the Super Bowl, but he couldn't just leave us like that, he has sent in some pre-recorded video poems and has kind of made it a bit of a treat for us in two different places. So we are going to queue up Philip J. Curtis, and then last but not least, we're going to have Meredith Caser, amazing romance writer and Fumfa alum. So sit back, enjoy. Anyways, Philip J. Curtis, let me share his bio with you. Philip J. Curtis, aka Midnight, is a writer, spoken word artist, and mentor. He is a native of New York with roots in Jamaica, West Indies, who arrived on the Colorado Springs poetry scene in 2006, bringing with him a brand of New York City straightforwardness and swag, along with the sensual son of Jamaica, West Indies. Philip, aka Midnight, is also an avid community steward. He has facilitated poetry workshops at various high schools and colleges. He has supported nonprofit organizations such as Life Without Lupus, Tessa, Finding Our Voices, CASA, and Art from Ashes. He's a founding member of Hear Hear Poetry, and in 2009 established Poetry 719 on Facebook to foster and support the freedom of self-expression in spoken and written word through community connections, education, and poetic unity for all ages. He also runs the online open mic, Put It Into Chat, with our other friends, Chance and Stephanie. So we're going to let Philip J. Curtis take it away.
Midnight Curtis on tour, Brooklyn, New York, Sights and Sounds of New York. Isn't that beautiful? Her love is generated, even reverberated by the hair on the head, naturally flowing, addictive free, an extension of the love that she may want to share with me. Soft and gentle and yet still strong, whether curl or loose, short or long, bouncing, full of life, full of growth. And the thickness of her strands allow for ample versatility. Her blackness, the essence of her beauty. The joy when you laugh, smile, and conversate with me. When sculpting, designing her body, redefining. I look with pleasure as the symbol of fine stands in front of me. 1, 2, 3, one more glance of her hair covering. 'Cause this just might be the route to her loving. And me rediscovering a possibility of her and me.
Your story is intriguing. You got me thinking, wondering at the possibility how amazing it would be to carry you every day with me. If I was your bra, I would hold you fixed inside the size of your cup, experience every bounce wherever we walked. I would cuddle your nipples rubbing next to me, feel you shift from sensitive to erect, soft to tender again. If I were your bra, I would clutch the taste of your moisture, and within the folds of your breasts, inhale your alluring scent. Sketch rings around your areola the moment that black lace peeks through red satin robe, playing a different game of dress-up. If I were your bra, I would never want to be taken off, but if removed, I'd still hold your breasts forever, imaginations with no boundaries, lathered from what little soap that is left. Teasing, tantalizing, stimulating breasts, heavy breathing from showerhead liberations, anticipation of a forthcoming fingering, cleansing the most pleasurable places, sending sensations until suds are fully rinsed. My fantasy, a beautiful dream, if I were your bra.
Philip, we love you. Bringing the spice, bringing New York City to Brooklyn.
If I was your bra.
Hell yeah. Woo!
That is genius. That's don't you wish you could like give that out as an exercise in writing workshops everywhere?
Philip, did he, did he get a prompt like imagine that you are
Yes.
an inanimate object?
Imagine
He was like,
yourself
definitely.
an article, a delicate article of clothing, and write that poem. That's hilarious. I was a little worried in that first one. I was like, oh my God, don't get hit by a taxi.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
sharing your poetry, Philip.
I love that so much, and I felt like he had maybe perhaps a pause on that long body. Perhaps he was walking past people at that very moment. It was so good though. What a treat to see Philip, even though he can't be live with us tonight. What a treat to hear his fabulous poetry, and of course we need to have him back again. And he'll be back in NYC apparently in August. So we'll definitely need to arrange an in-person visit. Gosh, that'd be so amazing. It was so great to see him in November. We love you, Philip. Thank you so much for those fabulous videos, the 2 different locations. So much fun, so much spice, and the love, beautiful love and romance. Love it.
And the bra.
And the bra. I'm about to say something spicy. I like a boob guy, Chris. It's nice. Okay. Anyways, whoa. Before we get taken off the air. Anyways.
Oh boy, your mom's watching this.
Oh, sorry, Mom. I'm not going to say anything else. Okay. We have, last but not least, such a fabulous friend and writer, Fumfa alum, Dr. Meredith Caser. Welcome, Meredith.
Yay.
Hi, so nice to be back with you guys.
We're so thrilled to have you, and we love having you. We love hearing you, and we love that beautiful red turtleneck.
Yeah. It's red.
Wonderful. Chris, would you do the honors of reading her bio?
I'm happy to. I just need to find it because we have so many here. Okay, here we go. Dr. Meredith Caser is a 2001 PhD graduate of New York University Steinhardt School and a 2015 graduate of Fairfield University's well-known, renowned, and beloved MFA program. She is none other than the Dean of Fairfield University's top-ranked Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies by day, and she sneaks her creative writing into the margins of her busy life. Her first novel, The Keeping House, was published in 2019, and prior to pursuing fiction, she published 11 professional nursing books and earned 4 American Journal of Nursing Book of the Year awards. You can learn more at her website, Meredith Caser, KAZER.com.
Take it away, Meredith.
Take it away.
Great. Thanks, you guys. So great to be here with you. And Katie, I have some great news. I'm going to read a story, a little romantic piece from my book, The Keeping House. And the gentleman in it, the male protagonist, is the boob guy. So, and so I'm reading from The Keeping House. If you like the story, the sequel just came out, Ring Road. So this is about 3/4 of the way through the book. And the story kind of features Emily, who is a quirky, 30-something-year-old woman. Her parents are a little bit kooky. And she has a crush on this delivery boy who works at her store and has invited him over to clean up her grandfather's apartment. He just died, unfortunately. And this is kind of the scene at the end of the day, just as they finished kind of cleaning up. So. You've taken my advice and made yourself quite at home, Emily said, allowing a little bit of flirtation into her words. Dinner's ready. Stephen followed Emily to the dining room and pulled out the chair for her. He then poured them each a glass of wine. He held up his glass. To you, Miss Emily, and your hard work today. You've made this place shine like the sun. Well, thank you, Mr. Jackson. Stephen carved the chicken and served her first, offering her a spoonful of potatoes and vegetables in the breadbasket before he served himself. What are you planning on doing with this place now that it's clean, he asked. Well, I suppose I'll have to find a tenant. I think the police must have taken all the cash they found during the raid. Mama, Mary, and I can manage on what the store brings in all right, but it doesn't leave much for home repairs. We're planning on painting this summer, but the place needs it, but there's not enough money now. I see. Stephen returned to his dinner. Emily gazed at him a moment longer. You know, I could use a place to live, Stephen said. I ain't got much money, but I'm pretty handy. Perhaps we can make an arrangement where I work off part of my rent by fixing things around here. I can even paint the house if you like. What about renting this place to me? Rent to you, Mr. Jackson? Why, I hadn't considered that, Emily said in as surprised a manner as she could muster. She poured them each another glass of wine. You don't play the radio loudly, do you? No, ma'am. You don't have a wife and 7 children you planning on moving in with you? No, ma'am. Emily ignored the slight hesitation in his reply. Well, I suppose you couldn't be any messier than my grandfather. They both laughed. When would you be available to move? How's tonight? Emily smiled again. Well, it's vacant. There's just one thing. My mother wouldn't approve of the arrangement. She's a troubled woman, easily anxious and upset. I'm sorry, she wouldn't want you down here. I'll tell her I have a tenant, but she doesn't get out of bed. You'll never encounter her. As long as you're quiet, she won't have any reason to suspect. She looks out the front window all day. Can you enter through the back door? She won't be able to see you from there. Oh boy, Miss Emily, you sure have a lot to manage. I understand. No loud radio playing and enter through the back door. I got it. It's all right. I've been going through back doors my whole life. She smiled back at him. Can I ask you one other thing? Can you please stop calling me Miss Emily? Emily is fine. On one condition, please call me Mr. Jet. Please stop calling me Mr. Jackson. I think we have a deal, Mr. Jackson. I mean, Stephen, Emily said, holding out her hand to shake. He took her hand and brought it to his lips. He kissed it, moving his lips back and forth against her smooth skin. His lips were soft like the wings of a butterfly. Emily closed her eyes and allowed the aroma of the wine to fill her. Shall we take this wine into my new front parlor? Stephen said. She nodded and began to lead the way, but then stood aside to let him pass. Would you excuse me for a moment, she said. He appeared confused, but nodded assent. She backed out of the room, brushing the door jamb with her black skirt, and raced up the stairs, tiptoeing past Sarah's room, then lunging into her own. Opening the dresser door, she rifled among her few undergarments and opened to one of the many dog-eared pages of the banned memoirs of a woman of pleasure. She located the necessary information, dropped the book on the bed, and flew back downstairs. Stephen was sitting on the sofa. He shifted to make room for her and patted the seat next to him. She sat. He edged a little closer. She rested her head on his shoulder and then lifted it. The aroma from his armpit struck her. Virile, yet not unpleasant. Sorry, I didn't have time to bathe before dinner. I could do it now if you want. It's all right. There's a crick in my neck is all. Emily could feel the warmth of his thigh next to hers, burning like the backyard fire. She crossed her legs to gain distance, then uncrossed them again. His hand approached her thigh. Now or never, now or never. Emily dodged his hand and deposited her own on his stiff penis. She bent her fingers to encase it as instructed. Bloody! Oh, I'm sorry. Emily withdrew her hand. A blush crept over her neck and overtook her pale face. I thought you might. No, I do. I was just surprised. She nodded. He leaned closer and drew his lips across hers. He pressed hers harder and she pursed hers tighter. How do I do this? Maybe you could open them a little, Stephen said, as if reading her mind. She nodded and his lips were back on hers. Relax, she tried to convince herself. His lips and tongues probed long and deep, licking at her lips, moving in and around her mouth. She liked the salty taste of him. Perhaps I should do this tongue thing back, she considered, but kept her tongue in her mouth to avoid disturbing the plucking and plotting she was beginning to enjoy, like her first taste of alcohol. From her position on the sofa, she could see the remnants of dinner, abandoned in such haste. Do I close my eyes or keep them open? Stephen touched her face and loosened her hair from the knot tied in the back. She continued to sit still on the sofa, both feet planted firmly on the floor. Come on, Emily, think. What would Fanny Hill do? With a burst of courage, she rested her hands on his biceps, bigger than imagined. Emily held on to him tight, afraid to let him go now that she had him in her grip. Emily sucked in her breath as he grazed his hands over the substantial mounds of her cashmere sweater. She closed her eyes. Okay, this feels good, she thought, with a faint smile of pleasure on her lips, as if her cumbersome breasts had found their purpose beneath Stephen's hands. He reached under her sweater, feeling the skin, and then pressed his fingers over the bones of her pelvis and abdomen, causing her to giggle. Ticklish, are you? He asked. She nodded again, willing him to continue. His fingers explored her back and deftly unhooked her bra, loosening it around her breast, but leaving it in place. He brought his hands around the front again, cupping first the right breast, then left, taking each nipple between 2 fingers. Shall we go into my new bedroom, Emily? Stephen asked. She was quiet in a moment. Voices converged in her head. Fanny Hill on one shoulder, mother on the other. Her consciousness transported to Sarah's side, her mother's bony claws wrapped around her wrist. Don't let men put their member inside you. They'll squirt you with their poison and make you good for nothing. She snapped her eyes shut, as if that would shut up the voices. No, Stephen, I think we've had enough tonight. Stephen stopped suddenly, removing his hands from her. What? What happened? Did I do something? Emily shook her head and buried it in her hand. She refused to look up. Moments passed. Stephen rose from the sofa, opened the parlor door, and closed it behind him. She opened her eyes to the empty room. What have I done? This is what I wanted, isn't it? Sheathed in the aloneness of the parlor, her eyes crested with tears. Now I've driven him away. The door opened, and the image of Stephen returning to her through the glistening tears seemed theatrical, as if he were floating, rather than ambling his typically heavy plod. He plopped down next to her on the sofa. Here, he said, pressing a handkerchief into her palm. I found one more of these in your grandfather's room. She took it from him and dabbed at the corner of her eyes. Then she blew her nose. Embarrassed, she crumpled the handkerchief and tucked it under her thighs. I'm sorry, it's just that I don't have much experience with this. Stephen smiled. What? That's kind of obvious, he said, taking her hands. He leaned close, his mouth at her ear. Trust me, Emily, I won't hurt you, he whispered. Emily sucked in her breath and nodded. He rose from the sofa, extended a hand, and led her to his bedroom. Hours later, when the Congregational Church clock struck midnight, Emily planted a dry kiss on Stephen's sleeping head and crept with shoes in hand out of the apartment and up the stairs to bed, smiling with satisfaction that he would still be there tomorrow. That's it.
Woo! Meredith! Spice alert, but so relatable at the same time. Like internal monologue. What am I doing?
We ending on a high note there with
I
the.
love it.
You got the boob man.
Katie loves the boob man. Look how
That is so sweet. Meredith, you are so cool. I just love it. We love having you on the show, Meredith. We gotta bring you back. We need to hear more from your books. And that was just so spicy, delightful, exciting, and also so real and so relatable at the same time. And bringing us to a spicy, delicious, and very happy ending to our show.
Well, you know what they say about those nurses. They know about the human body. So,
well, actually, my research area in nursing is about sexuality, especially in older adults. So it's easy for me to write boob and all of penis and all of that stuff.
It doesn't feel strange at all.
That's not.
I love that, but I love and I kind of love that moment of this approach to this this mental interruption of shame, like the voice of shame, and a kind of an understanding partner and kind of overcoming that is so important, especially for women.
You know, I will say this is a piece that we really workshopped together during the MFA program, and everybody so embraced it. Like the first draft was just so awful. And then we went back and everybody was like added more stuff. Oh, put this in, we need to get in her head. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Anything like that in my workshops. There was never anything.
This is like, damn it.
It's not fair. Anyway.
Thank you so much, Meredith. You have some lovely
guys
comments.
Again for having me. It was such a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much, Meredith. And we gotta have you back soon. Maybe on the our spring open mic coming up in a few weeks. Maybe. All right. We love you, Meredith. Happy Valentine's Day.
Same to you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, how wonderful was this evening, Chris?
I tell you, we had a little bit of everything.
We sure did.
It was like one of those boxes of Valentine candy.
It was. We didn't know.
There was some sweet.
We were gonna get.
There was some of those. You know how you sometimes you get those chocolates. There's some chili powder in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes in there.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of everything.
We sure did. It was sweet. It was spicy. It was salty a little bit. It was funny. Sometimes I don't know. It was cute. It was romantic. It was wonderful. Really so much fun. Thank you so much to all of the awesome writers who joined us tonight. Thank you so much to Generalissimo, Susan M. Davis, Ron Mark Trankler Thompson, Terry Rose Jurtson, Philip J. Curtis, aka Midnight, and Meredith Caser. You all are absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much to our audience for saying Super Bowl, Schmooper Bowl, and joining us. And we hope that all of you, all silliness aside, have a really happy Valentine's Day and are feeling the love, whether you've got a partner or you're single or whatever. We love you, and we are so blessed to have you as our community. We feel very loved. And thank you so much, and have a good night, and back next week with
Elizabeth Strauss and Blake Z. Wrong.
It's gonna be awesome.
You're right.
Happy Valentine's Day, Chris.
And happy Valentine's to you, Katie.
Thank you. All right, everybody, have a good night.